possibly the most useful bits of machinery that you'll use in the countryside. You'll come across them time and time again. I'm sure all of you have had a little bit of a go in the past. I'll run you through the various different features, and I'll run you through how we use them, and I'll also talk you through, most importantly, the health and safety. Sorry this room's a bit echoey. It used to be echoey, didn't it? Since it's tiny and loud, suddenly it feels like I'm in a cave or something. Anyway, so one of these is a strimmer, one of these is a brush cutter. Which is which, do you think? This is the strimmer, this is the brush cutter. They're interchangeable. If we took the head off this strimmer and put a blade onto it, it would turn itself magically into a brush cutter. So, what's the difference between when would you use a strimmer and when would you use a brush cutter?
I use brush cutter with brambles and stuff like that, really sort of fast stuff like that.
You do, yeah. You would use this, the bladed tool is best for cutting through more woody stuff. So if you're dealing with brambles and scrub, you would use a brush cutter. You can also put a large circular blade with saw teeth on, if you've got a powerful piece of kit, and then that is known as a clearing saw, and you can actually use that for clearing on woody scrub. Why not use the blade all the time? Why put the cord on? Sorry? Possibly, that's a good answer. The blade will blunt, the cord can easily renew itself. It's purely because the cord is designed for cutting soft vegetation, and what you actually find is that you work much faster through softer grass, sort of rank vegetation with the cord. I'll talk to you in a minute about how to put your harness on. Before we do that, I just want to talk to you about the protective equipment you need to wear. What pieces of kit do you think are essential when you're using a strimmer or a brush cutter? Let's start from the bottom. Boots are really important. It's actually really quite difficult, I think, to get your foot in there. Not beyond the realms of possibility, I suppose. Some strimmers have a D-shaped handle, and those actually can go past your body quite a bit further, so you could get your foot quite near to that. So, obviously, protecting your feet is going to be essential. Clothing-wise,
no skirts.
You don't want anything. You don't want anything loose, anything that can flap, anything that can get caught. If you've got a coat on, sometimes nylon coats have a long sort of toggly bit. I would take those off if I was strimming. Long trousers and long sleeves should always be worn. I say this even though quite often I quite often strim with short sleeves. Why is it so important to have long sleeves?
Stuff flicks up and
stuff will flick up, yeah, and particularly nasty. What's the stuff that
dog stuff.
Well, you don't want to swim with any dog feces. That would be particularly unpleasant. The stuff I get on really badly with is hogweed. I don't know if any of you come across hogweed. If you strim hogweed, the sap only has to hit me once, and then what happens is the sap makes your skin photosensitive, and you come up with a big blister. It's even worse if you come across giant hogweed, which luckily we haven't got any giant hogweed I think giant hogweed is on the Tamar, that's about as far as I get, but hogweed is still very bad, and it will blister very nastily. I've become progressively more sensitive to it as I've sort of strimmed more and more, and so I find even just one little bit touching me brings me up to a blister. So, it's a good idea to protect your skin. I know sometimes you'll be strimming in hot sunny weather and it'll be unpleasant to dress up, but yeah, hogweed sap is really quite a nasty thing to get on here. Okay, what other health and safety PPE, personal protective equipment, do you think it's a good idea to wear? Gloves. It's a good idea to wear gloves. I recommend, if you can, these rubberised ones. And I say that there's two things you want the gloves to do. One thing is to protect your hands from things that fly up, obviously, if it's a stone or whatever flicking around, you don't want it to hit your hands. What's the other nasty thing that can happen to your hand if you're using machinery?
Vibration.
Vibration. You can get a thing known as white finger. I've seen people who've got it, and it's quite an unpleasant thing. Basically, the vibration, continuous vibration, damages your blood vessels and damages your circulation. So what we don't want to be doing is using something that's vibrating really heavily for long periods of time without any dampening. I know often people who use chainsaws and lot suffer from white finger. So, the way you want to protect yourself is wearing gloves. The strimmer does have a certain amount of vibration dampening built in. Usually around the handle there's some rubber, and also you have a little bit of flexibility in between the engine and the shaft, and that again is to protect you from some of the effects of vibration. Having said that though, your hands will tingle if you use a strimmer all day, and I would recommend after every 20 minutes or so have a break. It's quite handy because usually what will happen is you'll run out of fuel and you'll need to go off and fill your strimmer up again, and that'll happen every 20 minutes or half an hour. That's a nice little break chance to sit down, have a cup of coffee, have a cigarette, and then get back to work once your hands have recovered a little bit. Okay, anything else you need to wear? You need to protect your face. So, what do you wear on your face? Goggles. If you wear goggles, what